Welcome one and all to another episode of Should You Farm It? This time around I have farmed Gigamind 50 times, 25 on first playthrough Mayhem 3, and 25 on True Vault Hunter mode Mayhem 3. After taking note of every item the boss dropped, I'm now going to present you with the results so you know, should you farm Gigamind? Gigamind is a boss found in the Meridian Metroplex, who you will encounter during the story of the game. In terms of legendaries that dropped, I had a total of 46 legendaries over the course of 50 fights. On first playthrough, I received 21 legendaries, giving me an 84% drop rate. On True Vault Hunter mode, I ended up with 25 legendaries from the boss, averaging out to 1 per fight. Although this was the average I ended up with, this was largely due to several fights giving me multiple legendaries, whilst others would give me none. I actually had 5 fights in a row where I didn't get a single legendary. The range of legendaries I received was very large, but there were a couple of notable items that dropped multiple times. First up is the Loaded Dice artifact. This only dropped a few times for me, but is apparently quite rare as a drop elsewhere, so worth mentioning here. There is some variety to the attributes of this artifact, but it will always lower your health by 75%, but substantially increase your luck stat. The luck stat increases your chance of getting good loot drops, making this a potentially valuable item for farming. Problem is that the luck stat remains a bit of a mystery right now. Although we know it increases rare drop rates, we don't know exactly how this all works. Playing on Mayhem 3 supposedly gives a 500% increase to loot drops, although this has apparently either been lowered or will be lowered soon, and we don't know what the increase for Loaded Dice gives, as it only says substantially rather than giving a figure. I haven't been able to give the artifact enough testing to get solid results from it myself, but looking online, it seems plenty of people aren't noticing any significant improvements to drops with the artifact equipped, so it may not be that great after all. An item you may be more interested in is the Smart Gun XXL, a legendary TDR SMG that specifically relates to Gigamind. I had this drop only once on normal mode, but 3 times on True Vault Hunter, giving me a 12% drop rate on that mode. This SMG seems to always spawn with a corrosive element and has increased elemental damage. Like most TDR weapons though, the real fun comes when you reload. Upon reloading, this gun turns into a spider turret, which will chase after enemies, shooting at them until it runs out of ammo, and then jumps on them and explodes. The turrets appear to be as powerful as the gun itself, which sadly isn't anything too spectacular in terms of damage. If facing down armoured enemies, this gun certainly can be very useful, as you can have 5 or 6 spider turrets up at once, all fighting your enemies. The turrets also have a maximum timer of 30 seconds, allowing you to sometimes prepare for a fight by rapidly shooting and reloading before too many enemies spawn in. As a day-to-day weapon though, there are plenty of better choices out there, especially considering that armour seems to be slightly less common than flesh or shields. Something which will be of more use to everyone are legendary class mods. I received a total of 7, 2 on first playthrough and 5 on True Vault Hunter mode. With a 20% drop rate for a multitude of class mods on TVHM, this does at least give one good reason for why you might want to consider farming this boss. As a final couple of notes, I also had a few cosmetic items drop from this boss, including the Deep Nebula weapon skin, which is a legendary skin which adds a beautiful galaxy effect to the weapons, which you'll see appear in several of the clips where I'm fighting the boss. Additionally, there is a red chest tucked away to the left of where Gigamind spawns, where you have the potential to get some more legendary items. For the process of farming this boss, I'd recommend having both a strong shock weapon and fire weapon. Gigamind has a strong shield which you will need to bypass before you can kill him. The actual process of a fight is pretty straightforward. Gigamind behaves in a similar way to other Nog enemies for the most part. He will try to generate a laser shield of sorts later in the fight, however it doesn't appear to deflect damage, simply mitigate it, meaning you can still shoot through it, although for maximum damage you will want to try and get round the side before firing. The additional enemies that spawn in can normally be entirely ignored. They tend to just be basic Maliwan troopers, who will actually be killed by Gigamind once you land the killing blow on him. Overall, I don't feel I can fully recommend farming this boss, but I also wouldn't say it's a terrible choice. With the right equipment, the fight only takes a minute or so to complete, but the rewards don't feel anything that spectacular. You may have noticed that I didn't mention anything about anointed legendaries earlier on, and that's because I only got a single one in all 50 fights. Although far from the hardest of fights out there, it's also not one you're likely to get the best rewards from. If you're looking for a legendary class mod or the loaded dice artifact, then go for this boss. Otherwise, I'd say pass it by and look for somewhere better to farm. If you want to know about better places to farm, then you'll want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel in order to see all future episodes of Should You Farm It. Additionally, if you found this episode at all helpful, then please do leave a like so that I know. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.